Autoimmune disease is lonely. Here's how to get out of that. The first step requires radical honesty, because if you really think about it, you have no idea what's going on in somebody's internal state and in their day-to-day, no matter how much we like to think that we know what's going on with other people. So the same is true with your autoimmune issues. Because you live it day to day, you are very intimately aware of what it feels like and what it looks like. But to the people around you, even those you live with, they don't really know what it feels like and what's going on. So you owe it to those really close contacts to at least tell them what it feels like so that they have an idea. The next, and this one, if you're anything like me, feels terrible, but it's to ask for help. There are actually a lot of studies that show that asking somebody to do something for you bonds you closer with them. And this is not me saying just be completely selfish, but if you cringed at the idea of the suggestion, you're probably not at risk of being selfish anyway. To give you a really concrete example of this, the beginning of this year was terrible for me. And I almost never ask for help. I'm honestly hyper independent to a fault, but I reached out to my closest people and I said, I'm really going through it. I just need you guys to step up, check in on me, what have you. I watched these people absolutely pull through, and none of them batted an eye. They were like, of course, this is what you would do for me. And yes, there were some people who did not show up for me, but that was highly illuminating too. I saw exactly who my closest people were, and it brought us closer. And I saw who isn't really going to show up for me at the end of the day. And even with some of those people, once I was through the tough period, we were able to talk about it and then actually get closer from that. This last piece is so important because I saw so many of you comment this on that last reel I did, but we kind of project our internal feelings about what's going on onto other people. So for instance, a lot of you said, the people around me must think I'm so lazy. They must think I'm so selfish. They must think XYZ about me. Yes, of course, there might be some people in your life who do think this, but first, have you adopted the radical honesty with them? But usually this is just a projection of what we think about ourselves. Like if you can't do all the activities you used to do, you're thinking you're lazy and you're putting that on other people. With the example that I just gave you for my personal life, for a lot of these people, I would reach out and say, I feel so selfish. Like I'm not showing up for you right now in an equal way that you're showing up for me. And all of these close contacts would say like, yeah, that's friendship. There's give and take. It's not always going to be 50-50. If somebody hasn't outright said, you're selfish, you're lazy, or one of these things you're projecting, say it to them. Say like, I'm so sorry. I feel like I am these things, and watch what their response is, because you really do owe it to the people around you to share these things. Now, I know a lot of this is very uncomfortable, but unfortunately, if you want the people around you to understand and for it to feel less lonely, you do have to communicate to some degree. Let me know in the comments what's worked for you so you can help each other get through autoimmune disease in a much less lonely way.